In 2016, I watched the movie Imperium, and I remember how impressed I was with this movie. I decided to give this a watch again the other day, and the film is even better than I originally remembered. Now, movies tackling racism and white supremacy, these can be incredibly tricky to do, especially in today's environment. And this is because the movie has to keep audiences entertained while also developing and really humanizing the white supremacist. We saw this happen in 1999 with American History X and how Edward Norton in that film, he changed his beliefs around white supremacy. But again, making a movie like this is very tough to do. Now, Imperium manages to really create a compelling storyline while keeping the story unpredictable and very suspenseful. Now, the movie centers around a young FBI agent named by Nate Foster. He's played by Daniel Radcliffe. The young agent, Agent Foster, goes undercover to try and locate some missing materials believed to be used in a dirty bomb. Foster is recruited by a veteran FBI agent, Angela Zambraro, played by Toni Collette, who acts as his handler really throughout the movie. And the objective of Radcliffe's mission is simple: infiltrate several white supremacy groups and determine if any of them have the missing cesium, which could be used to make the dirty bomb. So the strength in this movie definitely lies in the performances by Radcliffe and Collette. Early on in the film, Collette tests Radcliffe's on his backstory, and that scene really sets the stage for much of the tension that you feel throughout the movie. If Nate has the slightest slip up while undercover, then he's surely going to get killed. So the character of Nate is very well developed and very intriguing for this movie. Nate doesn't have any experience doing undercover work, but being so intelligent, he's able to talk his way out of several situations in the movie. In an early scene in the movie, one of the white supremacists point out he was wearing Levi jeans. The question being, why was Nate supporting a company founded by a Jew? Nate is able to talk his way out of it by spewing some white racist rhetoric. Now, later on in the movie, Vince Sargent, who's one of the leaders of one of these groups, him and his group learn that Nate was never in the army as he told them, and they confront him about it, but Nate is able to convince Andrew, the leader of a white supremacy militia group, that he was deep undercover, and that's why there's no record of him in the army. So there's this palpable tension in the film around Nate possibly getting caught at any time, and we see him talking his way out of multiple situations, trying to behave like these people, but really struggling to. There's also well-developed characters with various storylines. Now, one of them is a teenager. His name is Johnny, and he joins the gang, the white supremacy gang, due to his fear and anger. And at the end of the movie, much like Edward Norton in American History X, Johnny realizes his anger clouded his judgment and made him go in there. And it doesn't excuse his actions, and he knows it. So he tries to make amends by speaking to high schoolers about why he did what he did. Now, one of the key figures in the movie is Jerry Conway, played by Sam Trammell, who's an excellent actor overall. Conway is a white-collar engineer with a family, but also an avid white supremacist. Now, on the surface, Conway, he's much different than these other people that Radcliffe has met. Conway's mild-mannered, he's polite, he appears to be friendly, and Nate even asks him by mistake why or how he hangs out with these guys, as he seems normal. And we learn here that, Jerry, unlike many others in the film, was influenced a different way. He was actually influenced by the literature and the arts, where others were influenced and really brought in by things like anger and fear and insecurity. So Jerry appears to have the perfect life with a beautiful home, a wife and 2 kids. However, Jerry is the one who Nate eventually discovers is building the dirty bomb. Now, in my opinion, this wasn't really a complete surprise if you were paying attention, as most of the movie seemed to focus on a radio host, his name was Dallas Wolf, as having the cesium. Still, the tension in the film is constant, and this wasn't like Scream where you're trying to constantly guess who has the materials. The movie, the acting was just superb, the story was excellent, and it really outperformed expectations. Overall, I would surely recommend this movie. It's definitely one worth checking out.